Hello and welcome to the first episode of Let Us Talk Branding with the Logo King. My name is Ojibe. I'm a brand identity designer and tutor here in the Creative Ferry Academy. Now, first, let me introduce Creative Ferry. We have to introduce our sponsors. And Creative Ferry is actually a community of designers, a community of creatives. We help each other grow and we host sessions like this where we bring in giants like Mr. Tola Alabi in the creative industry to feed us from their wealth of experience. And we also have an academy that also houses brand identity design course, of which I'm the tutor, where we take young designers on the business of branding, of which we are here to talk about with Mr. Tola Alabi. Now, I don't want to waste our time. Like I said, this is the first episode of a four-episode series. And someone might be asking, who is Mr. Tola Alabi? So I don't want to assume that we all know him. So let us meet Mr. Tola Alabi. So thank you for joining us today, sir. And we're privileged to have you here. And we always love having you here on Creative Ferry. So can you please, as in for the sake of someone's meeting you for the first time, can you please introduce yourself, sir?
All right, yeah. Thanks for having me. It's not my first time on Creative Ferry, and as a matter of fact, I think Creative Ferry was one of the first platforms to host me on a webinar. I think this was about 2 years ago or so.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's always good to have that relationship with you guys, to be here again 2 years later and to have this session with you. So the honor is totally mine. My name is Tola Alabi. I am a graphic designer. I think very simply put it that way, although I do a lot of things. I like to introduce myself as a graphic designer because I'm very proud of being a graphic designer. So I'm a graphic designer. I run a company called Tola Alabi Design based in Abuja, Nigeria. And my company specializes in branding and brand identity design, which a lot of people might know as logo design. We specialize in logo design and branding. I'm also a teacher. I teach design and I teach the business of design through my YouTube channel called Pro Masterclass, and where I talk about design business and the challenges a designer might have in setting up a design business and challenges you might have with interacting with clients and getting paid. So that's what I do on Pro Masterclass. I'm also a mentor. I run a program called Premium Mentoring, and which, funny enough, you are a part of that program. So
Oddly.
it's yeah, it's a program that I get to mentor a group of elite designers, and we get to share ideas and get to promote each other. And I kind of teach them from my experience about how to approach projects, how to approach clients, and just generally how to expand themselves as creatives. That's basically what I do. I'm totally in the design sphere, but more in the business of design area.
Oh, okay. Now, it's funny that you talked about premium mentoring and pro of masterclass because I was going to get there because a lot of people don't know why we invite you or people call you the logo king. And I remember my first encounter with the name Tola Alabi, not necessarily the person with the name Tola Alabi, was logo match, and I think that was in 2018, the first
Yeah.
logo match, and I can't even remember. I think it was a friend. So from logo match, the next thing, another design product, I'll call it a product, was premium, no, prop masterclass,
Pro Masterclass. Yeah.
and premium mentoring. So can you just tell us about these three, the logo match, prop masterclass, and premium mentoring, although you talked a little about premium mentoring. And like you said,
Yeah.
I'm also part of the premium mentoring program. I'm proudly part of it because it's one of the best things to have happened to my. In fact, the three of them has been the best things to have happened to my design journey. I'll be very frank. So please, can you tell us more about these three amazing programs that you run?
Yeah, thanks. It's good to get testimonial like that. Well, it's good you've asked me about all three because all three are kind of interrelated. It started with Logo Match. in 2018. And funny enough, Logo Match has a kind of funny story because it wasn't my idea. It was a friend of mine, Yinka Adeshason, who I was mentoring then. But I wasn't doing any official mentoring, but he had contacted me and told me he wants me to mentor him. So I was mentoring him. So he told me he had this idea or this exercise he wanted to do to kind of build his logo skills, and he wanted to do a 30-day logo challenge where he would design a logo every day for 30 days. And I thought that was a very good idea. And he said he wanted to bring up on board some designers with him. So he was looking at having maybe about 10 designers, 5 to 10 designers, basically, not looking at anything big. So I had an intern with me then, and I said, you know what, let's add this intern because he also needs to strengthen his logo design skills. And I kind of told him to join Yinka on that journey. And just to get the other designers, he put it on his page and I put it on my page. And we kind of advertised the fact that if you're interested in going on this journey where you design 30 logos a day, it's called Logo Match. Just sign up and here is the registration form. And at the end of the day, we had about 200 designers on the platform, and it was really incredible because I wasn't really expecting. To be honest with you, I was thinking we were going to have max. Because when Yinka told me 10, I said if I put it on my page, it's going to be like 30. But we ended up having about 200, and it
Yeah.
was we had people from a lot of people from Nigeria, someone from Ghana, someone from the UK, someone from the US. It was really an amazing experience, and I think after that experience, with my interaction with designers, I kind of realized that I had this passion to talk because after Logo Match, a lot of designers asked for my phone number and they were reaching out to me asking me questions. But funny enough, none of them were not nobody was asking any question about logos. They were asking me questions about design business and telling me about how do I deal with this client that has not paid me, how do I charge more, and I realized that okay, this is what designers want to know. They really want to know more about the business of design. So I spoke to my wife and I told her what was going on. I said, look, designers are not really interested in how to use Photoshop, how to use CorelDRAW, how to use Illustrator. They really want to know these questions about the business of design. And I've been in design then, maybe for about 14 years then. And I thought I have so much experience and I'm sharing with these guys. And she was the one that told me, you know what, why don't you just start a YouTube channel? And I said, oh, I'm not really used to this camera thing, just filming myself. And I tried it. It was kind of odd, but the first response I had for my first video was really awesome. And that spurred me on to do more. And that's how Prop Masterclass was born. And when I started Prop Masterclass, I realized a lot of people were now reaching out to me to say, mentor me, mentor me, mentor me. And I really didn't understand what they meant when they said mentor me because I was like, oh, these guys are so far away. I don't know what their issues are. And I said, if I was to mentor all these people, I would probably not have enough time in my day. So that kind of made me think of, okay, there must be a structured program that I can use in mentoring selected designers. And there is no better way to save people than to put a price on it. So I said, okay, I would mentor people, but there'll be a price on it so that I won't have everybody rush in because it's free. So I put it out, and that's how premium mentoring was born. I had a first set of 4 designers registered for premium mentoring then, and then I did it again the next year. I had another 4, and I did it again, and I had another 3 people. So I think premium mentoring now has about um, 10, 10 or 11 people right now that have signed up for premium mentoring, and that's how everything started. It was like a domino effect from um,
Logo Match.
Logo Match down to premium mentoring.
And I think for okay, I will speak for myself personally, and also maybe for a designer out there, because that effect also I know my journey, or will I say the upward journey in the design industry actually started for me after the logo match. Because for 30 days designing logo every day for 30 days, it poured some sort of creative genius. Like something like
Mm.
I know some people were like, how are you able to do this? Like this is crazy. This is crazy. Every day you're coming
Yeah,
up with
yeah. It was
different
a lot
content,
of work.
and it was a lot of work. And I know it wasn't just for me. Then the prop masterclass took it to another level, just like you said. the business of design, it's what really most designers struggle with, not really the technical aspect of it. I think it's the business aspect of it. And that's why we're here as well, because let's talk
Mm.
about this business aspect of it. And we'll be giving you questions we received, because we sent out a link for designers, for business owners to ask questions regarding branding. And we got a couple of questions, and they are still pouring in. So in this episode, we'll try to go through some of them, and then before the end of the series, we'll try and go through all the questions and make sure that they are all touched. So today we're talking about branding basically, and I want to say everybody knows the word branding, yeah, because you hear
Mm.
people just use it like every brand. I want you to brand my business. How is my branding doing and all? But I don't think they really understand what that word mean, and I really don't think that at least everybody may know it, but it just few people really understand what the word branding means and what it means to businesses, what it means to you personally as a person, what it means to you, what it means to a business. So I don't know if you have any light to share on the word branding, like what it means.
Well, that word branding, yeah, a lot of people use it, don't really understand it. I used it for a very long time, and I didn't know what it meant. I just felt branding was your logo, branding was your website,
Yeah.
branding was your flyer. Now, you are not totally wrong when you say that. That's not totally wrong, because that is a part of branding. But branding, basically, I thought of it and I said, what's the the simplest definition I can give on branding? And I thought of this. I said, branding is an opinion. Is an opinion you have or have developed about something. Now, that thing can be a person, can be a place, can be a service, can be a product. It's an opinion you have. And that opinion is normally based on an experience you've had with that thing. So, if I go somewhere now, like for people that are based in Lagos, let's use Lagos for example, because we have a lot of people based in Lagos. So if I use Abuja, people might not be able to understand. If I say Banana Island now, people would say, what if I say Banana Island, what comes to your mind? A lot of people would say, oh, rich. People would say affluence. People would say mansions. People would say, good roads and all that. But if I were to say Oshodi, people will say, or if I say Oshodi, or say Isaleko, or something like that, people might say, oh, hood, slum. People might say hustle. People might say, getting robbed. You understand? Because when I was in Lagos, the first time I ever got robbed was in Oshodi. So people might say different things. You understand? But that's what branding is. People are branding these places based on an experience. And your experience can either be a first-hand experience or a second-hand experience. Now, people that say Banana Island and they think of it as rich, mansion, good roads, that kind of thing, posh. Some of them might have never been to Banana Island before. Never ever. I've never been to Banana Island before, but I have that opinion about it. So what's my experience? My experience is a second-hand experience. Someone has told me or I've seen it somewhere that Banana Island is a place for the rich. You have a lot of mansions there. It's a beautiful place and stuff like that. Never been there. Second-hand experience. Now, but I've branded it because of that second-hand experience. Now, a first-hand experience in branding is that it's something that has happened to you. Like I said, Oshodi, the first time I ever saw a robbery or when I was ever mugged was in Oshodi. You understand? Going to Oshodi and somebody picking your pocket or someone grabbing your chain, that kind of makes you know that, oh, this place, man, you have to be on your toes. So that's branding. It's based on that experience that I'm able to have an opinion on this place. And that's the same thing we have with people, places, things, services, products. So branding is an opinion you have about something based on an experience you had with that thing, which is either a first-hand experience or a second-hand experience.
Yeah, I'm glad you made mention of people, because sometimes or most times people excuse branding to just be associated with businesses, because I'm of the opinion
Oh,
like, you've been branded as a human being, you've been branding all your life. Like you've been branding all your
yeah.
life. People have a certain perception of you. Like when you ask someone, like, what do you think of Mr. Tola Alabi? What do you think of Ojibe? They'll tell you this, and that is branding. So people
Yeah.
like, okay, when you talk about branding, someone would just, okay, it's just for businesses, it's just for companies, it's for the
Mm,
likes of
mm,
Coca-Cola, it's for the likes of
mm.
Guinness and all that. People don't really think that me as a person, I actually do branding as well.
Yeah.
So can we throw
Maybe-
more light on that aspect, sir, please?
yeah. It's very important because branding is not abstract. A lot of people think of it like, I don't have money for branding yet. I'm like, no, you just don't have money to pay somebody to do intentional branding, but you've been branding. So when branding is not abstract, it's the most natural thing. We do it every day.
Everyone plays a role in branding. It's not just the designer, and it's not just the
Mhm.
business owner or the CEO.
You understand what I'm saying? So we've been branding since the day we were born. We have been branding. Remember, we have opinions about things, and you're very right about branding being related to people. We brand people the most. We brand people the most, more than anything, more than places, more than products, more than services. We brand people. That's why when you meet somebody, you look at the person and say, this person is stuck up. Is stuck up. The person is arrogant. Not because you know the person, but the perception the person gives you, maybe the way they talk or the way they dress or the way they walk, you're like, oh, what does this person feel like? It feels like it's all that. So that's branding because of that experience you've had. And that might be because you've met somebody that was really stuck up in the past that walked like that person, or met someone that was really snobbish in the past that talks like that person you're just meeting for the first time. So we brand everything, and we can brand anything. So branding is the most natural thing. And that's what I tell companies when I consult. I mean, branding is not abstract. It's the most natural thing. We do it every day. We give an opinion of something. We give out an opinion to other people, and we have an opinion. We build an opinion of other things we interact with too. So I think you're very right in that light that branding is something we all do. It's the most natural thing.
So it's actually safe to say that when people talk about branding, they're actually referring to intentional branding. When you probably bring in an expert to work on you intentionally branding yourself, because just like you just said, we all brand. It's natural. Like it comes natural to everybody. Humans, companies,
Yeah.
just comes natural to us. Someone might be asking, why are we
Mm.
talking about branding? I know we actually got a question from I say. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrongly. Please, I apologize in advance. But we got a question from I say Zina, and I don't know if it's a he or she, but the person asked, please, I need a clear definition of what branding is all about. So it's safe to say that there are people out there, sorry, that actually don't know what branding like. Someone like Zena
There are loads
needs
of
to know.
people.
Yeah, someone like Zena needs to
Mhm,
know exactly what is branding, and it takes me to the next point
mhm.
I want us to discuss. Like, why is this important? Why is this word branding important to us as human beings, to us as to businesses? Why is it important? Why is branding important, sir?
Now, it's important because you do it whether you like it or not, and people do it to you whether you like it or not. That's why it's important. You understand? Because you almost cannot stop people from doing it. You cannot stop people from having an opinion. You cannot. They start to build one immediately. They engage with you. So you want it to be the right opinion. You understand? You cannot blank people's minds. It's something you just can't do. So it's important because people do it. People do it whether we like it or not. So we would want people to have the right perception. And with branding, it kind of emphasizes the my own belief that perception is more important than reality. Perception is more important than reality. And that's why branding is important because we live our lives based on perception and we have our values based on perception, not really based on reality. Do you understand? We really make an opinion based on what a perception people give to us. So it's just like the other day, I think about a week ago, I was dressing up for my son, and I wanted to wear a new pair of jeans for him. I thought, we never worn these jeans for him. Let's wear these jeans for him. And I wanted to wear the jeans, and I took the jeans. It was not in the nylon. It just had a tag on it, and I snapped the tag. I took the tag off the jeans, and I wore it for him. And it had a very funny problem. It was too big, but yet too short. It was too wide around his waist, but
Yeah.
yet it was higher than his ankle. And I said,
Wow.
there's no way this boy can wear this thing. So even if we solve the waist problem, it will still be too high.
It's too
If we
big.
solve the height problem, the waist will still be too big. So I said, he can't wear these jeans. And I thought, this jeans is new. This pair of jeans, they are new pair of jeans. And I thought, we need to give it to somebody. But then I had a problem. The problem was I taking off the tag. So if we give it to anybody, that person would always feel like this is a second-hand pair of jeans. They'll feel like this jeans, Mr. Tola's son has worn it like 2 or 3 times. It's not new. And that only came from the fact that the tag was not attached to it anymore. So that tag that attached to it gave a perception of newness. Once I take that tag off, it doesn't matter what the reality is that it is new. The perception that the person still has would be like, there's no tag on this thing. It's not inside any nylon bag. And this thing is second hand. That's how people will think in their mind. So that's how important branding is. It's based on perception, and we go based on perception. So if you're not branding right, people will go based on perception. It doesn't matter what the reality is. So people will say, look, it doesn't matter what they think of me. I'm a nice person. If they think I am rude or I'm snobbish, but it doesn't matter what I think inside, what I know inside that matters. No, it does matter, because the truth is nobody sees your inside. People only see what you exude. And if the people think, look, you're a snobbish person, you're not a nice person, it doesn't matter how much you know in your heart. So that's what branding is, giving people that intentional perception, not leaving them with the room to make up their own minds about what they think about you. So giving them a controlled perception as opposed to a natural perception.
Talking about perception, your story just reminded me of like when you talk about perception, it's better than reality. So I was over the weekend, like 2 days ago. Yes, yeah, 3 days ago. Sorry, I was in this cinema with a friend of mine, and we were offered a Coca-Cola product, Fanta. So I intentionally just asked her because the previous weekend we had visited another cinema and we're offered Pepsi. And I told her,
Mm.
I like Pepsi better than Coca-Cola. What do you like? Which of them do you prefer? And she said, I love Coca-Cola better. I said, why do you like Coca-Cola better than Pepsi? She couldn't. The only thing she could say was that, well, they appear better than Pepsi. They appear better than Pepsi. So obviously,
Mm.
it's not the reality. That's a perception.
No,
It's what they
no.
want. They appear better than Pepsi. So it just
Mm.
so if you're listening, branding is all about perception, not really about reality. So you may not be the
Mm.
best, but you can appear to be the best. So I'm not.
Definitely.
I don't want to start a beef between Pepsi and Coca-Cola. That's not what I'm trying
No,
to do.
and that beef has been going on. You didn't start it. It has been going on since for years now. You understand?
I was just trying to buttress a point. And okay, we got a question from Kenneth Frank, and Kenneth Frank just asked, why is branding important? And I believe this is you've already answered it, why branding is important. But I just want us to talk. Okay, now why is it important to businesses? Because we have a lot of business owners here, and they will want to know, why is branding important to my business? Let's move away from the human, like the personal aspect of it, to the business aspect of it. Why is it
Mm.
important to businesses,
Mm.
especially in Nigeria?
Yeah. Now, branding is important. Even if branding is important to you as a human being, not a business, think about how much more important it is to businesses. In the sense that if if people had a bad perception of me as Tola Alabi, not as a business, as Tola Alabi as a person, and they feel Mr. Tola is rude, Mr. Tola is arrogant, Mr. Tola is brash, you understand that kind of thing. The worst that could happen is that people will not be my friend. You understand? Which I can live with. You understand? It doesn't defeat the purpose of my existence. I can live without friends. People live without friends. That's the worst that will happen if you had a bad personal brand. People will not be your friend. You won't have a lot of friends, which is still which might not give you a good quality of life, but it doesn't end your life. I've never seen anybody that just died because they didn't have friends. Now, on the other hand, with business, a business can die because of bad branding. Because the essence of business is to make money and to make profit. So if your branding is bad, people will not engage with you, will not transact with you. In essence, your business will die. That's just what will happen in the long run. So it's even more important to businesses because good branding leads to engagement, which leads to sales, which leads to um, success and profit. You understand? So that's why it's so important to businesses as opposed to being important to just regular human relationships. If you do not brand well, your business will not make money. If your business doesn't make money, then it ceases to be a business and it will die. So branding is that important to businesses.
Okay. I think I learned a lot. And I think let's just take one more question before the end of this episode. And it's from Toby in Nemeka. And Toby is asking, how is branding done and what does it take to brand? That's what Toby is
Okay,
asking.
how is branding done? Now that's a good question because that's like um that's like saying how do you eat egg? You understand? Egg can be boiled, egg can be poached, egg can be fried, egg can be steamed, egg can be, you understand that kind of thing? So you can eat egg in a lot of ways. The same thing with branding. How can branding be done? Remember, branding is everything that leads up to a perception. So branding can be done by changing the logo of a company because if people look at the logo, they say, oh, this logo looks poorly done. If they didn't pay so much attention to their logo, then the product cannot be so good. That's one way you can brand. Branding can be packaging, whereby you have a good logo, but then the packaging is rubbish. It's hard to open, or it's hard to close back, or stuff like that. And people will say, I hate this product. They have a good logo, but I hate the packaging because whenever I open it, I can't close it back. It just keeps pouring. You know, there's this stuff that me and my wife usually talk about, this syrups, cough syrups. We used to buy them for our kids then, and it was terrible packaging. Number one, to open it, you need a knife to cut around the serrated edges because once you try to open those serrated edges, it just spins around, so you can't open it. Now, once you open it with a knife, you now can't close it back. That's bad. Now, the drug was kind of effective, but the packaging was bad. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
they need to fix their packaging. Even though they have good branding in terms of the effectiveness, the efficacy of the drug, the usage of the packaging, the usability of the packaging was terrible. You understand? So that can be another way of branding, fixing that packaging. Another way of branding might be your staff. Do you understand? If your staff have very bad attitude, when customers come to your shop or come to your office, they don't greet, they are rude, they are snapping at them, then it's not a logo that will save you. It's not packaging that will save you. It's not your tagline that will save you. You're just giving your staff the proper training. You understand? Now that is branding. That's the branding can be applied in so many ways, can be done in so many ways. So it's not just the logo guy that is doing branding. The guy that is training staff is doing branding. The business consultant is doing branding. The person that sells air fresheners or this reed diffusers that they put in offices just to make the office smell better is doing branding. So branding can be done in so many ways as long as it sets a perception, a controlled perception to the audience to make them feel like, oh, these people should engage with my business. It makes them buy more. It makes them stay longer. You understand? It makes them come back and transact again. That's how branding can be done. So there's no one specific way in which branding can be done. There are a million ways in which a company can brand.
Now, when you talked about just, because I was going to ask about the role people play, so it's safe to say that everyone plays a role in branding. It's not just the designer, and it's not just the
Mm-hmm,
business owner or the CEO. Everyone plays a
mm-hmm.
role in branding, and
Yeah.
we're gonna keep this for the next episodes because you guys don't would not want to miss this. So in the next episode, we're gonna talk about this role. We're going to break it down to the roles people play when it comes to branding and take more of your questions. All right. So stick around, and if you've not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button. And we're also leaving a link to the Prop Masterclass YouTube channel of so for Mr. Tola Alabi, so you can see the amazing. These videos changed my life, as in that is they changed my life. They changed my design journey. So let me just steal some of our time and give this some of testimony like I remember the way I present logos before I encountered Prop Masterclass, and that was the first time you talked about. There was this video where you talked about how to present logos to clients.
Mm.
That's after watching that video and I presented the logo to the client. I went from literally. I'm not scared to say it's a testimony. I went from 10K to 30K per
Mm.
logo. Instantly, I went from 10K to 30K per logo. So
That's awesome.
we're dropping the link to his YouTube, the Prop Masterclass YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe as well. We'll see you in the next episode.